Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another one of our online maths lessons. And this week it's with me, Mr. Williams. I hope that you are all well this morning and you're ready to do some super maths work. So let's begin. Okay, so over the last few lessons, we've been looking at our 2 times table, our 5 times table, and our 10 times table. And in today's lesson, we're going to put that all together and use what we've been practicing to solve some problems. So to get started with, you'll just need to collect some things before our lesson. So as usual, you will need a dry white pen, you will need 100 square, you'll need a pencil and paper, and if you've got one, a number line would be helpful. So pause the video here. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to run off and collect all of those things. So I'll see you in a couple of moments. Okay then, everybody, let's just remember what we've been doing in the last few lessons. So we've been looking at all of those 2 times table number facts and the 10 times table facts and the 5 times table facts. Sometimes we call the numbers in our times table, so we call the numbers in the 2 times tables multiples of 2, and the numbers in the 5 times table, we say they are multiples of 5, and the numbers in the 10 times table, we call them multiples of 10. And let's just remember what they look like. So first of all, on our 100 square here, let's highlight in orange all the multiples of 2, and there's quite a lot of them. There we go. It's half of the numbers on the 100 square, and sometimes you might call them even numbers. So all of the even numbers are multiples of 2. They end in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. Now, the next numbers we are going to look at are the multiples of 10, and we're going to colour those ones in red. Which ones do you think I'm going to change to red? Yes, it's all those ones on the end. All the numbers that end in a 0 are multiples of 10. And now we're just going to add on to our 100 square our multiples of 5, and we're going to draw a circle around those ones. So which numbers is that going to be? All of our numbers that end in a 5 or a 0 are multiples of 5. They are all in the 5 times table. Now, let's just see. I'm going to use my lottery machine. Let me just get that. There it is. I'm going to use my lottery machine to find some random numbers, and what we are going to do is see if we can then together work out if it's in the numbers in the 2 times table, the 10 times table, the 5 times table. Maybe it's in all of them, maybe it's in none of them. Okay, let's have our first number. Okay, 25. So if we look at the number 25, well, it ends in a 5, and I know that all the numbers that end in a 5 are multiples of 5. There's 25. Let me just circle it there on 100 square. So 25 is a multiple of 5. Is it a multiple of 2? No. Is it a multiple of 10? No, it's not. Okay, so 25 is a multiple of 5. Okay, let's have another number from our lottery machine. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, and the next number is 53. So 53, well, it starts in a 5. So because it starts in a 5, does that make it a multiple of 5? No, what's important is the number that it ends in, the ones number. It ends in a 3. So 53, let's find that on 100 square. So 53 is there. Okay, so, well, it's not coloured orange. It's not a multiple of 2 because it's an odd number, and it's only even numbers that are multiples of 2. It doesn't end in a 0, so it's not a multiple of 10. And it doesn't end in a 5 or a 0, so it's not a multiple of 5. So 53 is not a multiple of 2, 10, or 5. It's not in any of those times tables. Okay, let's try another number. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, and our next number is 80. The number 80. Well, 80 is a tens number. It ends in a 0. Let's find that on 100 square. So I'm looking down the end column. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we know if a number is in orange, then it's a multiple of 2 and it's coloured in orange. So 80 is a multiple of 2. It's in the 2 times table. Okay, numbers that end in 0 are also multiples of 10. So 80 is a multiple of 2 and a multiple of 10. And we also know, because it's got a circle around it, that it's in the 5 times table, because all numbers in the 5 times table have to end in either a 0 or a 5. So if all the numbers that end in 0, we know they're going to be in the 10 times table, the 5 times table, and the 2 times table. Let's go on to another activity now. So in front of us here, we've got a box of chocolate, and a box of chocolates. Chocolates are often arranged like this into nice, neat patterns of columns and rows. And we have a posh name for that. Sometimes we call that an array. When things are arranged into rows and into columns, we call them arrays. And I'm just going to show you a few arrays that I've got here. So I've got left over here. This was the packet that my Christmas mince pies came in. And we can see that we have got 3 rows going across, and we've got 3 columns going down. And all together, we had 9 mince pies in this packet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this array was 3 across by 3 down, and altogether they were 9 mince pies. Okay, I've got another array to show you here, and this, well, I'm sure you've got one of these in your house. This is an ice cube tray, and we can see if I hold it this way, it's got 2 columns going down, 1, 2, and going across, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows going across. So 2 columns and 8 rows, 2 lots of 8. If I hold it this way, it's got 8 lots of 2. And all together in this ice cube tray, I can make 16 ice cubes, 2 lots of 8 or 8 lots of 2. So that's another array. One last array to show you, and this is my muffin tin that we use to make muffins in, or sometimes we make Yorkshire puddings in here. And we can see it's got 1, 2 rows, and it's got 1, 2, 3 columns. So it's got 2 lots of 3 or 3 lots of 2. How many muffins can I make in this muffin tin? That's right, I can make 6. I can make 2 lots of 3, which is 6, or 3 lots of 2, which is 6. So that is what we call an array. Now, I've got a question to ask you here about this box of chocolate, which is in a nice, neat array. Can you write down on your piece of paper or on your whiteboard, can you write down a number sentence to show how many chocolates are in the box, thinking about how many rows there are and how many columns there are? So can you pause the video here? I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do this. Can you write down a number sentence to show how many chocolates there are? Okay, I'll see you in a moment. Okay then, how did you get on? Right, let's have a little look. Well, I've got 3 friends to help me here. Let's have a little look at the number sentences that they wrote down. So, first of all, we've got our friend Susie at the top, and she has noticed that in each of those rows there are 5 chocolates. So she's written that down, that there's a 5, and then there's another 5, and then there's another 5, and then another 5. 5 add 5 add 5, and all together there are 20 chocolates. Give me a wave if you wrote that number sentence down. Okay, let's see what our friend Sunny wrote down. Well, he noticed that there were rows with 5 chocolates in, and there were 4 of those rows. So there were 4 lots of 5. 4 lots of 5 equals 20. So he's got the same answer as his friend, but they've written down a different number sentence. We've got Susie's written down repeated addition, and Sunny has written down a multiplication number sentence. And last of all, let's see what Suki's done. I wonder what she might have done. Oh, by the way, give me a wave if you wrote the same as Sunny. Okay, Suki, let's see what you've got. She has written down that there are 5 columns, each with 4 chocolates in, so there are 5 lots of 4, and again the answer is 20. So they've all written down different number sentences. They all show how many chocolates are in the box. Let's just have a little look at Sonny's number sentence. So he wrote down 4 times 5 by looking at that box of chocolates. Now, one way that we can show an array is to draw it ourselves. So I'm going to draw an array just to show Sonny's number sentence, to show that box of chocolates. So I'm going to do, each of these dots represents one of the chocolates. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my first row of chocolates. So I've got 1 row of 5. Then I'm going to draw my other rows of 5. So that's 2 rows of 5. Then I've got another row of 5 chocolates. And I need to do 1 more row. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that represents the box of chocolates. And what was that word that we learned? Array. This is an array to show 4 times 5, 4 lots of 5, which is what Sonny wrote down in his number sentence. So let's have a look at another one here. We've got a box of eggs now, and I would like you to write down a number sentence to show how many eggs are in the box. But also, do you think this time you can draw an array, just like I did, to show the eggs in the box? Pause the video here, and I'll give you about 2 minutes to do your number sentence and your array. See you in a moment. Okay, how did you get on with that? Well, there is the box of eggs, and if we were going to draw this as an array, then we would be doing 1 row of 5 eggs, and then another row of 5 eggs, because that egg box has got 2 rows of 5. And what would the number sentence be to show what's going on there? Well, that would be 2 lots of 5. 2 times 5, which equals 10. There are 10 eggs all together. They are in 2 rows of 5. Well done if you got that one correct. Now, another way that I could show this is using my number line. So I'm just going to show you what this would look like as repeated addition on my number line. So I've got 2 lots of 5. So if I just start on my 0 here, and I'm going to show you 1 lot of 5. Oops, I missed a little bit there. Every time I do a jump on my number line, I write how big it is. So that's a jump of 5. Then I'm going to do another jump of 5. I'm going to write how big my jump is, and I've landed on 10. So that shows that 2 lots of 5 make 10. 5 add 5 is 10. Okay, now here we've got our friend Charlie, and Charlie has got a number sentence for you. He's got 7 times 2. We haven't got the answer yet. And what I would like you to do, again, is to draw an array to show 7 times 2 and to work out what the answer is. Pause the video here whilst you do it. Okay, how did you get on? Well, let's have a little look. So if I draw my array, I'm going to draw mine in 2s now. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lots of 2, 5 lots of 2, 6 lots of 2, and 7 lots of 2, because my number sentence is 7 times 2, 7 lots of 2, 7 groups of 2. So if I add up all of those dots, all of those groups of 2, all together, there are 14 dots. 7 times 2 equals 14. 7 lots of 2 is 14. Well done if you've got that one at home. Let's see what that looks like on our number line. So this time I'm going to show jumps of 2, groups of 2. So I'm going to start at 0, and there's my first jump of 2. Now remember, we're doing 7 jumps of 2 here. So 1, 2 jumps of 2, 3 jumps of 2, 4, 5, 6, and last of all, 7. I've just drawn 7 jumps of 2 and I have landed on 14. 7 lots of 2 is 14, or 2 add 2 add 2 add 2 add 2 add 2 add 2 is 14. Okay, here's another number sentence for you. Here's our friend Wilf, and he would like you to draw an array to show 3 times 5. Pause the video here whilst you draw your array and find out the answer to 3 times 5. See you in a moment. Okay, how did you get on with that? Let's have a little look. So there is my first group of 5, my second group of 5, and my third group of 5. That is what your array should look like. 3 lots of 5. So my number sentence, 3 times 5, altogether that is 15 dots. 3 times 5 equals 15. And again, we can show this on a number line. So we're going to do 3 jumps of 5 this time. So I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to do a jump of 5. That's how big my jump is. And I've landed on 5. Another jump of 5. This time I've landed on 10. And now my third jump of 5. And I've landed on 15. 5 add 5 add 5 is 15, or 3 lots of 5 is 15. Okay. That brings us on to today's tasks. And as always, we've got 3 tasks for you. We've got the little chap canoeing, and this task, you should all be able to complete this one. The task with the boat, most of you will be able to complete that one. And then the submarine task, some of you might want to complete this one as well. Okay, so I'm going to talk through each task one by one. Pause the video when you want to complete that task. So task number 1 with our little canoeing chap. It says complete the multiplication number sentence from the arrays. So there are some pictures there of arrays, those pictures of dots and the number sentence. You've got to use those to help you to work out what the answer is. If you would like to complete this task, pause the video here. It should take you no more than 10 minutes. Okay. Our next task says draw the array and complete the number sentence. So this time there are the number sentences. What I would like you to do is to write the number sentence out in your book, on your paper, and draw the array that goes with it, which will help you work out the answer. If you would like to complete this task, which most of you will be able to, please pause the video here. Okay, and on to our final task. This one says draw all the possible arrays and write the number sentences that go with them. Now, I'm going to talk you through this one a little bit. So for the number 12, can you think which arrays and which number sentences, which multiplication number sentences you could find to go with 12? Let me just show you. So I could draw 6 lots of 2. I've drawn 6 lots of 2 dots. 6 lots of 2 is 12. I could do this, turn that on its side, and that would be 2 lots of 6. 2 lots of 6 is 12. I could do 4 lots of 3, 3 lots of 4. Oh, I've made a mistake there, haven't I? Because I've got the same. In fact, I made a couple of mistakes. That one should be 3 lots of 4, and this one here should be 1 lot of 12. Now, we all make mistakes, and that's fine because mistakes are good. They help us to learn as long as we spot our mistakes and learn from them. So we've got 4 times 3, 3 times 4, 12 times 1, and 1 times 12. So we've got lots of different ways, lots of different arrays that we can use to make 12. So for this task, you've got 2 to do here. Can you draw all the possible arrays that you can find that would show 20? And can you show all the possible arrays that would show 24? If you want to complete this task, pause the video here, and I've given you a generous 15 minutes to complete that task in. Okay, see you in a moment. So welcome back, everybody. Let's just go through the answers to those tasks to see how you got on. So with our first one, 4 times 2, the answer to that one is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. 6 times 2 is 12, 2 times 10 is 20, and 5 times 5 lots of 5 is 25. Well done if you got those ones correct. On to the next task. And this was the one where you had to draw the arrays to go with it and then write in the answers. So we've got 2 times 5 is 10. There's my array with 2 lots of 5. Then we had 3 times 5. There's my array, and the answer is 15. Then we've got 7 lots of 2, and the answer is 14. 10 lots of 2 is 20. 1 lot of 10, 1 times 10 is 10. And 10 times 1 is 10. Those ones are similar, aren't they? It's the same array, but in different ways round. We've got 1 lot of 10 and 10 lots of 1. And the answer is 10 for both of them. Then we've got 5 times 5. The answer to that is 25. And then 0 times 5. What's that array going to look like? 0 times 5. So I'm going to have rows of 5, but I've got 0 rows of 5. So my array looks like that. There's nothing there. There's no array at all, because 0 times anything is 0. And on to our final task. Well, I hope you did okay with that one. Those are all the possible number sentences that you could find to go with that. And hopefully you've drawn the arrays to go with it. So for 20, we've got 5 times 4, 4 times 5, 10 times 2, 2 times 10, 1 times 20, and 20 times 1. And for 24, there's a few more. There's 3 times 8, 8 times 3, 12 times 2, 2 times 12, 6 times 4, 4 times 6, 24 times 1, and 1 times 24. Well done if you got all of those or most of those different number sentences and those different arrays. Well done, everybody. And that brings us to the end of today's maths lesson. How do brilliant mathematicians multiply by 2, 5, and 10? And we've looked at some different ways of doing that. We've been using arrays to help us today. We've also had a little look at how we can use a number line to do that. And in our next lesson, we're going to be carrying on with our 2, 5, and 10 times table, and we're going to be solving some problems. In the meantime, keep practicing your times tables. The more you practice, the better that you will become. So until our next lesson, bye-bye.